I've had some blind spots in my life that have been shown to me by some incredible people, many that are in this room. And yesterday, and several days actually this week, we heard from one of our founders, Sandy Tillotson. How was Sandy? And to see what she's created with the vision that she had. And about 6 years ago, I found myself in this repetitive cycle. This cycle that just kept repeating for 6 years, where I was in a relationship that we'd get together, we'd break up, we'd get together, we'd break up, we'd get together, we'd break up. And on the Team Elite trip in Fiji, Sandy and I were on some excursion on the bus, and I happened to be able to sit next to Sandy, and we were talking, and we started talking about relationships. And she asked me, she said, "Charley, have you ever set a goal around your relationship? Because you seem to be in this stuck place." And I said, "Well, no, I've never set a goal." She said, "You set a goal around business, you set a goal around sports, you set around, goals on anything. Your relationship, the love of your life is the same thing, and you're stuck, so clearly you don't have a goal." So we sat down, and we put pen to paper. And she sat there with me for hours and asked me, what is she like? What does she look like? What does she want in her life? What are her spiritual beliefs? What's her character like? And she kept asking me more questions until I felt like there was nothing else to say, and then my cup was just empty. Then she just asked me more questions, and we'd write down some more information. And I said, I feel like there's getting so much information on this paper that I'm like limiting out like the whole world, right? There's like, how could anyone be everything that's on this piece of paper? Like, that feels impossible. I remember voicing that to her, like saying like, man, I feel like doing this exercise is like jinxing me. It's like eliminating the possibility of it even happening. And then she asked me the toughest question I've ever been asked in my life. She said, "Charley, are you this list?" And I said, I'm not. I'm some of those things. I'm not all of them. She said, when you grow to become this list, when you are this list, you will attract that woman into your life, because like attracts like. And so, because I set a goal with this, I had a plan, right? I had something to look at that okay, this is my plan. I have to grow to become this list. 2 years later, after literally just like investing not only in the business, but in Israel, right after I had that meeting with Sandy, I'm sitting with Nathan Ricks, Dan McCormick, and Lon Wardrop. And I asked them, okay, I'm a team elite, but how do I get to become a team elite like you? And they said, Charley, you have to invest in yourself as much as you invest in your business. And I'll never forget those words, ever. 3 of us in a circle, or 4 of us in a circle. And so for 2 years, I worked on myself at the same time working the business. And I reached a point where I was 35, and I remember like, oh my gosh, when I was 17, I remember saying that I was going to find the love of my life at 35 years old. At the point that I was financially free, that I would have that stability and security, that I could really start to invest in a family. And all of a sudden I'm 35, and I go, oh my gosh, it's time. I've got to set the goal. And I'm looking at the list, and I'm like, I am these things. And I entered into a goal-setting program, okay? I'm like, okay, it's time to take action. I have to now move into finding this woman. And so I actually hired some coaches. I had like 5 coaches. And I set a goal to meet my wife in 90 days. Is that ridiculous? Is that... It's so thank you very much. So I said to go, okay, now it's time. I've got my paper, I'm going to meet my wife in 90 days. And this is like saying, okay, I'm moving to Florida, I'm going to become a pro wakeboarder, right? Except even more ridiculous. So just things can progressively, one of my leaders I noticed in the room, Stephen Roddy, new Ruby that went across the stage last night, he sent me this this logo, this picture, and it said, and pardon my language here, but this is what it said. It said, God only gives me what I can handle, and apparently he thinks I'm a badass. Because about 90 days into this, my coaches said, Charley, are you up for a challenge? This was common on a daily experience, and I said, sure, what's the challenge? He said, we challenge you to meet your wife in 24 hours. And after the nausea settled, and I came to started to breathe again, and I think, there started to be light gather in the room, and it got really narrow for a little while. I realized, okay, this is the same as everything else in my life. I accepted the challenge blindly. I have to have faith that because and be committed that if I move forward and I am committed, then providence will move too. And all sorts of unforeseen events, circumstances, people will come my way in support of what I'm committed to. So I have to commit. And I just have to have faith. I have to believe that in 24 hours, this woman is going to appear in my life. So about 12 hours later, I find myself walking onto a plane, Delta Flight 1472. And I'm flying from San Francisco to LA, and then I get on a flight from LA to Orlando, and it's a red eye. And I'm walking on the plane, and I'm having this experience. I feel like I'm almost floating because I've just surrendered to this. And I walk on the plane, and I look left, and there's first class. First class was full, and I was so happy that I just kind of looked at where first class waved it, and I turned right and went back to coach. If you know what I mean, it's better to have never gone to first class, right, than have to look at it and know what it is and then go back. But I come back and I find myself, and here I am, and here's my seat in the exit row. I'm sitting here over here in the row, and I was getting comfortable, I'm accepting okay, I got about 12 hours left in this goal. I'm going to land in 5 hours. So that gives me 7 hours to to meet her. I'm thinking, surrender, keep telling myself, surrender. And then, all of a sudden, a flight attendant starts to approach me.
Hello, Mr. Patterson.
Yes.
How are you this evening?
I'm doing great.
You look great.
Thank you.
We have an open seat in first class, and
way.
your name is all over it.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Would you like to accept your
I would love to.
upgrade this evening?
I would love to. Thank you very
follow
much.
me. I'll take you to your seat.
Okay.
Charley Patterson, Christy Hemme, please come to the front.
Thank you so much.
Charley Patterson, Christy Hemme, please come to the front.
I love it when they move you to first class and the seat opens up.
Charley Patterson, Christy Hemme, please come to the front.
Okay, so I have 5 hours left.
Christy Hemme, please come to the front.
I wonder if I could ask you for some water or something.
Which side am I on?
I'm so confused. Oh my gosh. Oh, miss, can I help you?
No.
Oh.
I got it. I'm strong. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Whoa, okay. All right. Well, I'm in 3B and you're in 3A. Seriously, I've never been sat next to someone beautiful, ever. And I'm looking at this woman, and she's an angel. And there's no way this could be happening. There's no way, right? There's no way. There's no way that this would happen, that I would make a commitment like that I would meet my wife. Could this be her? Hi. Okay, that's not what happened. Okay, I weighed myself. It was a lost story. So I sit down. Actually, before I sit down and I start asking this beautiful young lady, who she is, what she does, and for the next 5 hours.
I have to stop you.
Oh no.
I didn't look at him until he sat down. Right when he sat down, I looked at him and I was like, oh my God, I've been waiting for you my whole life. It's my husband.
So we had a red-eye flight. We had incredibly big talk for 5 hours. And that was on July 14th, 2008. And the signs that happened for the next year and a half were like God was slapping me in the face and saying, pay attention. Because she was everything on the list. Everything. Intimidating. Challenging. Supportive. Loving. And 3 years, 5 months, and 20 days ago, we got married. That after accepting a challenge and setting a goal of meeting my wife in 24 hours, I met her 12 hours later.
I'm glad I didn't know I was a goal.
But today is a very special day. It is my wife's birthday today.
Thank you, Christy!
Okay, so she's not going to be as happy with me in a moment. Beeb, actually, can I have you out here for just one moment? Or maybe you should be in back and not see this. So also today, my wife has been honored to be... I'm a very proud husband. I'm a very proud husband. My wife is the most incredible partner that I could have ever imagined. And she is equally as driven and passionate about her career and creation. And she's moved from being in front of a camera for 10 years of her life as a professional athlete and an entertainer to now the back of a camera as well. And producing and directing she was asked to be featured in the 7-page spread of Flex magazine that actually goes on the stands today. Today, on her birthday. And this is the cover of it that I actually have in my bag and forgot to bring on stage. And so the reason that she was asked to be on that is because of all of her work that she does for other people. And one day, while I was sleeping, I wake up to her sitting straight up and going, I'm going to produce and direct. And I was like, okay. I'm like, and she picks up her phone and she calls the company and she said, I want to produce and direct the next commercial. And they said, okay. And that's led to her being the talent director and talent development for the company, for women and for men, and doing their commercials and all of their stuff. So I'm proud of you, and I'm honored to be your husband. And happy birthday. So that you don't just think it was something I made up, like a before and after or something. This is my wife in the magazine. Congratulations. So, isn't this true to life with our business? Isn't that exactly like our business? That we have this incredible call to action. We've got the how of the business today. And then it still comes back to us. Like, we have to set that goal. And we have to be able to put the plan together and move into action. Set the goal, create the plan, surrender, and move into action. And then ultimately, it requires us looking in the mirror. And then I do the same thing that I did in attracting my wife. Because like attracts like. The same thing with attracting the desired distributors that I want in my business. Is that we have to become the leaders that we wish to attract. And so as we're out there in action, we attract who we are. So if we don't like who we're attracting, guess what? We get a look in the mirror. And that's one of the most difficult things that we can do. Yet having the awareness of how we show up from the reflection of other people gives us the opportunity to make the adjustments that only we can make with ourselves to be able to create the desire that we want in the future.